Do you hear it, the call from the throne, pressing against your ribcage? Not a timid whisper, but a holy thunder, slicing through bone and marrow, declaring that your presence here today is no accident. This is a setup from God. The moment you opened this message, heaven swung a gate wide, and I'm here to tell you, you who were mocked for your kindness, used because your heart is soft, misunderstood because your light is too clear, that gate is yours. You were not dropped into this life to play background. You were born to be the standard. You are the chosen one. If anyone ever made you doubt your own goodness, listen closely. God has not let your kindness evaporate into oblivion. He recorded every time you chose silence instead of striking back, every time you hid tears behind a smile, every time you opened your wallet when you were nearly empty yourself. Heaven sees, heaven records, heaven is preparing to repay. And I declare to you by the authority heaven grants that a shift is coming this very weekend, not the flimsy recognition humans give and take at whim. This is spiritual recognition sealed from above, poured out for every seed you sowed in secret. A golden heart is not proof of weakness, it's evidence you carry divine strength. A golden heart loves when it's wounded, forgives when no one apologizes, gives when you're nearly depleted. A golden heart keeps shining after the bruises, keeps loving unconditionally when it's misread, keeps believing through tears. When logic screams stop, the world sneers. Don't be so trusting, don't be so kind. Heaven answers, you are a diamond. When you hold purity in a culture drenched in selfishness, you are not standing still. You're waging war. You are wielding heaven's greatest weapon on earth, compassion. And when your heart is set upward, everything you do flows from that spring. Scripture reminds us, guard your heart above all else, for from it flows the wellspring of life. Exactly so, purity doesn't blind you, it gives you vision. Others see barricades, you see doors. They count problems, you see possibilities. They clutch fear, you grip faith. Don't think you're walking alone. God doesn't measure you by packaging follower counts or fame. He looks at motives, the why behind the what. People judge the face, heaven judges the heart. And because of that, your sacrifices are not forgotten. What others overlook, heaven amplifies. What they erase, God engraves. Every time you chose forgiveness over a shouting match, every time you helped someone who had no way to repay, every time you smiled while your heart shattered like glass, heaven's angels heard it. Your invisible love has never been useless. It rings like a bell through the courts of heaven. Every act of love is a seed sown into the soil of time, and every seed planted with tears is stored in heaven's vault as an eternal transaction. Others think you're losing by giving. In truth, you're investing in an economy that cannot crash. Maybe you ask, then why am I still crushed? Because gold becomes pure only through fire. Rejection is not a curse, it's the temperature that makes you shine. The crushing you endured wasn't meant to break you. It pressed out new oil, new depth, new anointing, new sensitivity. The sensitivity they mocked is your gift. The empathy they called weakness is your weapon. And believe me, when you're exhausted from carrying others, God does not stand idle. He comes to renew. He breathes life into places you thought were dead, pours fresh oil onto the hardened spots. He gives strength to the weary and power to the faint. Your heart will feel lighter, your spirit freer, your mind clearer. Because you're not merely being preserved, you're being prepared for harvest. And that harvest is closer than you think. Your obedience was hidden, not to be wasted, but to multiply. Just as David was anointed in secret before he wore the crown in public, your quiet faithfulness is about to be displayed as visible glory. What was whispered in darkness will be proclaimed from the rooftops. You won't need to prove your worth. The results will speak. Favor will chase you. You'll stop chasing approval. Heaven has already set a table before your enemies. Those who belittled you will witness your honor, and when the reward comes, it won't trickle by the spoonful. It will pour like a waterfall. Opportunities will appear from nowhere. Doors will swing open without a knock. The reward won't merely restore what was lost. It will remind you why you never stopped loving. The kindness you poured out is returning, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So remember who you are. A golden heart isn't a tactic, it's your divine identity. You aren't weak for being kind. You are powerful for staying pure in a muddy age. Your heart is a weapon. Heaven has not ignored your tears or trials. Don't let weariness make you forget what you've planted. Walk boldly, no apologies for your gentleness, no dimming your light to ease the eyes of the dark. You were not built to fit their box. You were forged to break it. And as you move with a lifted gaze, a steady mind, a rested soul. When God opens the floodgates, every tear gains meaning, every trial reveals purpose, every waiting season turns out to be divine arrangement. Your golden heart has built a glorious future. Heaven is ready to release it. Type, continue to get the next part. Hear me now as if I'm standing in the middle of your soul's battlefield. The universe is recalibrating the scales. The years you sowed goodness in secret have not dissolved into forgetfulness. They're crystallizing into an unstoppable thrust. When a golden heart is despised, it doesn't turn to cold iron. It grows brighter. Your stumbles don't dull your glory. They draw the arc that launches you like an arrow from a fully drawn bow. Don't be surprised if in these days old memories resurface, the times you forgave while your heart bled, the nights you prayed for the one who slashed your name, the evenings you emptied your last dollars to rescue someone, then came home to a quiet, near-empty fridge. Heaven is rewinding the evidence not to hurt you, but to stamp the file before the announcement, case closed, verdict signed, reward season begins. Let's define it clearly. A golden heart doesn't mean you don't feel pain. You feel it precisely and choose the higher road. You see the wound, yet refuse to become the wound. You understand the schemes of darkness, yet give it no lodging. You're not naive, you're holy. And that holiness gives you sight. Where others see brick walls, you see bricks forming a launch pad. Where they hear thunder, you hear approval. Where they count voices against you, you count promises for you. Why? Because you've learned heaven's habit, reading motives, not just movements. And God is doing the same with you. He's not merely tallying deeds. He's reading what you believe. Look up heaven's ledger. On your life is thicker than you think. The moments you sent someone a word of encouragement and deleted your name so no one would know. The times you stood as a shield, letting others walk across your back like a bridge. The evenings you turned the lights off early, not from lack of work, but to keep your soul from the storm of cruel words. All of it bears the seal eternal transaction. People demand invoices, heaven hands out crowns. The world says naive, heaven says holy. And because of that, when the fire of trial flares, you don't burn up, you refine. When the grinding stone presses down, you don't crumble, you release oil. When the jeers fly, you don't go silent, you become a trumpet. Let me say it plainly, the hard seasons you walk through were preparation, not punishment. Isolation wasn't failure, it was strategic protection. There were rooms God didn't let you enter yet because He waited for your heart to grow strong enough not to walk beneath the spotlight. Then comes the moment He places you back in the light, not to beg for a corner, but to let your light define the stage. When you return, it won't be the shaky version trying to justify kindness. You'll stand like a pillar of fire at midnight simply by showing up. Darkness recedes, and the decree will ring out what you once said. In the dark will be heard in the daytime. What you whispered in private will be proclaimed from the rooftops.
Truth doesn't need a microphone, it needs the right timing. You've heard needle-slim lies. Kindness isn't worth it. Get tougher. Stop being nice. Kind people always lose. Sorry we don't negotiate with darkness here. We write the rules. The rules are, favor will pursue me. The rules are, a table is set before me in the presence of my enemies. The rules are, I don't chase approval. I walk in acceptance. Those who slam doors in your face will soon watch you cross thresholds that don't require their hands. The out-of-nowhere opportunities aren't random. They're the yield of an economy run by heaven alone. When the reward floods in, it won't fit on the tray. It will be pressed down, shaken together, and still spilling at the edges. So what do you do now? Put your hand on your heart, your weapon, and declare, I will guard this wellspring above all. Don't apologize for your goodness. Don't explain your gentleness. Don't dim your light to soothe eyes accustomed to the dark.
You were not made to fit their mold. You were forged to shatter it. And as you step boldly, eyes clear, mind steady, soul at ease, every tear that fell will become dew on your harvest. Every trial that threatened you will become a billboard for God's faithfulness. Every waiting season that wearied you will peel back layers of meaning you never imagined. This is the moment. This is the decree. This is the hour. You are remembered. Type continue to get the next part. Now let me dive into the essence of your light warrior nature so you'll understand why the betrayer will regret, why their painted smile can't mask the emptiness, why every scheme aimed at your heart ends up crafting your crown. Science calls it regret over missed opportunities. Heaven calls it a verdict. By rejecting your golden heart, they refused a chance to touch the sacred. By mocking your compassion, they locked themselves out of a garden of blessing. They thought hurting you would make you weak. They didn't know your pain would become a furnace, forging you into diamond. They thought leaving you in darkness would finish you. They didn't know darkness would become the backdrop and you the guiding flame. They thought stealing your voice would steal your destiny. They didn't know your silence was strategy, letting heaven's thunder speak instead. See the 4 layers of strength forming within you. First layer, bold declaration. You are not a victim, you are the evidence. Every morning you wake, your breath declares, I survived what should have killed me. Second layer, vivid imagery. Your heart is a lighthouse in a storm, beating not to impress the sea, but to call lost ships home. Third layer, spiritual analysis. Your compassion isn't a system bug, it's the interface heaven uses to intervene on earth. When you forgive, you open gates. When you give, you activate flow. When you love unconditionally, you tune to the frequency of the one who is love. Fourth layer, victory affirmation. The ending isn't I hope, the ending is already written. You have won, time is only jogging up to the frame where everyone can see it. Envy is darkness trembling before your light. The envious aren't mad because you have much, they're mad because you still smile with little. They can't stomach your steadiness while your wounds are still fresh. Let them watch because the universe is enrolling them in a class they cannot skip. Regret is a long syllabus. You keep loving, they keep empty. You keep giving, they keep afraid. You keep forgiving, they stay chained to bitterness. That loop, not you, will wear them down. Your one task, keep your heart clean. Purity is what gives you sight, seeing a staircase where others see a cliff. Listen, light warrior, proclamation is coming. There will be rooftop announcements about things you once said in the dark, about how you stood for truth when no one stood with you, how you loved when no one watched. Recognition will arrive without your raised hand. Favor will lift you from old places and seat you at a table in full view of eyes that once looked away, not for revenge, but to assert a law of heaven. Whoever guards the heart guards destiny. When opportunity knocks, suddenly you'll know it wasn't sudden, it was harvest. When doors open without a hand, you'll know it's not magic, it's principle. The grain is ripe, the heads are bowing. And when you step into harvest, remember the aim isn't simply to be seen, but for your light to be evidence. Evidence that kindness doesn't lose, it wins later. Evidence that forgiveness isn't weakness, it's mountain-moving power. Evidence that generosity doesn't deplete, it's the key that unlocks the storehouse. Evidence that a golden heart isn't myth, it's heaven's strategy for turbulent times. And you, yes, you are the living illustration. If anyone asks, why do you still believe, smile and say, because my heart is gold and gold doesn't change color in mud. Now agree with heaven through a small, holy act, rise from the chair of inadequacy, brush off the dust of doubt, burn the lies to ash. Square your shoulders, open your chest, match your stride to the promise. When floodgates open, the hesitant are swept away. The ready are raised, and you are the ready. Type, continue to get the next part. We are entering the summit, the place where the ultimate truth is spoken, not to retaliate, but to set free. Here is the truth: those who despised your golden heart will regret it. Not because you rise to abandon them, but because they forfeited the chance to stand beside a grace walking the earth. Their smiles will still color the photos, but evening will not color their souls. They will skim past your success by day, but at night, the hinges of regret will creak open their doors. The ultimate truth isn't the sentence they receive, it's the crown you carry. You kept your heart. And whoever keeps the heart keeps the light. Whoever keeps the light can read heaven's map. Summarize your transformation. It wasn't a straight line, it was an upward spiral. You were crushed, yes. Slandered, yes. Abandoned, yes. But each crushing pressed out oil, each slander forged honor, each abandonment carved space for heaven to plant a larger heart. You emerge, not the same, but fixed, but whole in a new way, the kind of wholeness only fire can produce. And now look, you no longer haul bricks to build defensive walls. You haul bricks to build banquet tables. You don't hunt for approval. Approval hunts for you. You don't beg for a seat. The seat invites you. You don't plead to be understood. People start seeking you to understand themselves. Frame regret correctly. It isn't a passing mood. For those who refused grace, regret is a long-running program. They will watch you achieve what they swore was impossible, love people they deemed unlovable, forgive what they called unforgivable. They'll hear your name in rooms that once locked you out and wonder why their hands no longer hold the keys. They'll see you walk through doors they said weren't yours and chew on the question, what if I hadn't despised that heart? But for you, regret has no chair. You don't have time to stare backward in bitterness. You're busy counting blessings and stewarding harvest. Hear the final call, not into a new fight, but into a new posture. You have risen. They are left with regret. Walk as one already recognized, head high, heart, soft eyes bright. Do not shrink your heart to suit a cynical age. Let your heart redefine the age. Each day, ask this before you step outside: which door will my golden heart unlock today? Then step out as if the answer is already in motion. If you needed a sign, this is it. This word found you at the right time, the right weekend, the right rhythm of heaven. You need no further permission. The throne has issued the decree. When God opens the floodgates, you will look back and see every tear had meaning, every trial unveiled purpose, every waiting season was divine setup. You'll understand why He made you take the long way, because the straight road wasn't sturdy enough for the crown you'd carry. You'll understand His silence, because silence was the moment He gathered evidence to announce you in a way no one could refute. You'll understand why He let you love too much, because extravagant love is heaven's language. And then, like a river rising, grace will pour, not by measure but by overflow. You won't just regain what was lost. You'll be reminded why you never stopped loving. That is your legacy. That is your path. That is your hour. If this message awakens something in you, act now to harmonize with heaven. Hit like to declare. I agree with Heaven Press. Subscribe to say, I step into a new season, and share this with someone who needs to remember the worth of their heart. Comment 777 as the seal of wholeness and completion. Let it activate the collective voice of the warriors of light. See you in the next broadcast, where we don't just survive, we reign with a golden heart. The end.